What's up, positive bitches? How are we doing today? If you're hearing this episode, you were meant to be here, so keep listening. On that Bitches Positive podcast, sometimes we will laugh, other times, baby girl, we're gonna cry. But we will always walk away feeling our most empowered, positive bitch self. That is babe in true connection with herself. On this podcast, we unbecome who we are not so we can fully step into exactly who we came here to be. Can I get an amen for that? A freaking man. Today we are talking about something we don't love, but something we know very well, which is stress. I have been so stressed recently that my period was 20 days late. If you're a woman, you just know I've been through the ringer. You know what I mean, right? Okay. I've gone through this little stressful season and I thought to myself, we needed an updated podcast on how to deal with stress because I've learned a couple of new techniques that I've implemented that have really helped me get back on track. I also think it's back to school season, which is really back to stress season, not just because of school, but because the holidays are coming. We're going to be seeing our families a lot soon. And so I think that there's a little bit of a smell of stress in the air. A lot of weddings are happening. There is just a lot of commotion. Our schedules can be really flipped upside down in this season. So how do we deal with getting ourselves back to school or our kids back to school? How do we deal with seeing our family, the weddings, whether it's stress about a chemistry test or that you're having chemistry with absolutely freaking no one and all of your 39 cousins are getting married? We need to figure out how we can exist in a world where there's going to be polarity, there's going to be ups and downs, but we will be okay. We won't not get our period for 20 days. We want to avoid that because that is some crazy shit right there. Okay, anyway, we're going to talk about all of that and more today. Before we get into it, we cannot talk about stress without talking about magic mind. Magic mind is my little magic in a bottle. I was having the problem of stressing out my body just with pre-workout alone. I would have these super high highs and then these super low lows. I was getting hormonal acne and my body was just not in a flow. When I found Magic Mind, it was the solution to this problem because it not only gives me a boost of energy for my workout, for recording this podcast, but it also allows me to stay plugged into my authentic flow of who I truly am. With Magic Mind, I don't have hormonal acne. I don't have these high highs and low lows. I have a boost of energy and I still feel like myself. The benefits of Magic Mind and the true magic behind it comes down to its ingredients. Let me just give you this. They are so clean that even my homeopathic doctor was like, yeah, this is a total yes. It has matcha, which contains way less caffeine than coffee and other pre-workouts. It also has ashwagandha that reduces stress and anxiety. Lion's mane mushroom, again, which helps reduce anxiety and inflammation. I cannot recommend taking Magic Mind enough. If you want to implement some magic into your life and try Magic Mind, go to www.magicmind.com/positive and get up to 56% off your subscription for the next 10 days with my code positive20. Your code will be forever valid for both 20% off one-time purchases and subscriptions, but in the first 10 days it's up to 56% off if applied to a subscription. Again, that's www.magicmind.com/positive. Get up to 56% off your subscription in the next 10 days with my code positive20. This link will be in my show notes. If you're not yet following me on Instagram at Vibing with Cece and at That Bitch Is Positive, what are you doing? There you can get daily tips and tricks on how to become your most magnetic self. Plus, you will get to give so many suggestions for what you want to hear on this podcast. I love Instagram because we can really interact there. I have my instant DMs. You can comment on my videos, and it has that feature that this podcast doesn't have because I cannot directly interact with you. If you're going through a stressful season because you're going through a breakup, join the 21-day Breakup Glow Up Challenge and get the tools you need to glow up now. Not only will you learn how to recenter yourself in your own life, not only will you learn how to take back your power, but you'll also learn tips and tricks tools, energetic, spiritual, physical, to focus on your own life and manifest your desires. You can also join the pedestal path where you will learn how to put yourself back on your own pedestal and not get mad, but get everything you desire. If you're looking for some journal prompts and workbooks, you can get the How to Call Your Power Back workbook and the Healing Your Divine Feminine Energy workbook. All these links, once again, will be in my bio. Okay, I have so much to say today, so let's just get into this damn thing, shall we? Okay. The worst thing we can do about stress is stress out about how much stress that we're currently feeling. Because that only adds to the problem. It does not solve anything. I know in the moment when something triggers us, the easiest thing to do is fall apart in that moment. The easiest thing to do is get on the stress train and ride it all the way down to our mental breakdown. That's the easiest thing to do. But is it the easiest thing to do? Or would it be easier if we just learned some tools to actually ground our spirit in our own body again so we don't have to lose our shit every single time there's some trigger in our external reality? The first tool I'm going to give you, and this is right off the bat, we're getting right into this, is something called the physiological sigh. And what this is 2 breaths in, short breaths, and a longer breath out. And we're going to do it together. Why does this work? It works because it breaks down the carbon in our body and it oxygenates our whole entire system. We automatically do this naturally when we're crying. If you've ever been like, you know, when you do that when you're crying, yeah. We naturally do that to break down the carbon and get oxygen within our body. Because I don't know if you know this, but we need to breathe in oxygen. Yeah, you know that. Good. So we're going to practice something called the physiological sigh. And what this does is it tricks your nervous system into getting into your parasympathetic nervous system. It tricks your body into going into rest and digest. So instead of you riding the train down to mental breakdown, we're going to just pause and take this breath. Let's do 7 of them. 7 because I've been feeling the number 7 a lot recently. Let's do 7 of these breaths together. Before we go for our first one, I want you to listen to me, how I do it, so you can do it with me. I don't care if you're driving. I don't care if you're in the middle of a workout. I don't care if you're walking. Take a pause and do this with me because the effects are immediate. And if you're listening to this podcast, it's probably because you're fucking stressed out. So let me help you in this moment. What it sounds like is 2 short breaths in and a longer breath out. So it sounds like, now do it with me. Let's do 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I want you to just take a moment to feel how your body feels when you introduce oxygen to the equation. When you introduce oxygen to your stressful situation. Feel how free, liberated, tingly even your body feels with the physiological sigh. It really can just prime us to open ourselves up to receive divine intervention rather than our own egoic traps that we set for ourselves. So anytime you're feeling stressed, just prime yourself with 7 of those sighs and you will feel so much better. That is one thing we can do with our breath, with our body to calm ourselves down. Now, I truly believe everything has its own divine season. Think about birth, for example. It takes apparently I just learned it's not 9 months, but it's actually 10 months. Okay, love how we were lied to our whole entire lives. Cool. It takes about 9 to 10 months to have a baby. If I was pregnant, I couldn't curse out my baby and be like, listen, bitch, you better come out of my birth canal like tomorrow. I couldn't do that. Wouldn't matter. Birth has its own divine timing. So does everything else in our life. It's easier to see with birth because we really can't force our baby to come out before it's truly ready. We think, however, in our life, whether it's a promotion or it's something else, we trick ourselves into thinking that we are doing a lot more than we're actually doing. A lot of it just comes down to divine timing. Everything has its season, everything has its order. I want you to think about birth. Is birth easy? No. I've never had a baby. I've seen enough. I've heard enough to know it's not easy. Birth gets really, really difficult before it gets easy. Before you can hold your little baby in your arms, you're pushing, you're screaming, you're sweating, trying to literally push a human being out of your body. Not only does birth have its own divine order and timing, but birth is something that's really difficult before we get to the pleasure. There's pain before we get to the pleasure. I think a lot of people think, oh, that's God testing us. That's God giving us this test and we have to pass it to prove ourselves worthy. I don't believe in that mumbo jumbo. I was sitting outside the other day and it really just, oh no, I wasn't sitting outside. I was actually making my protein shake, my breakfast, and it just randomly came to me. I was thinking, testing, it never felt right to me to think that God tests us. And what I heard when I was making my shake is, I'm not testing you, I'm training you. There are going to be seasons that are stressful. There's going to be seasons that are harder than others. Not because we're being tested and we have to prove ourselves worthy, but because we're being trained to get all that it is that we want to manifest, all that it is we have been praying for, all that it is we desire. We are having difficult seasons in our life, not for shits and giggles. Everything has its purpose, but because it's training us to get to the next level. I want you to get it out of your head that you're being tested right now, because all that does is add more stress. You're not being tested, you're being trained. If God was testing us, that's for us to believe that he can't see the past, present, and the future. That's bullshit. God knows all, omnipresent, all-knowing. God has so much faith in us that he doesn't need to test us. He is preparing us. He is training us to get to that next level. And let's be honest with ourselves. Positive bitches, come on. Come on. We know that if every season was super duper peaceful, we would get bored. We have needs. Some of our needs is for certainty. We need to know there's a house or some sort of apartment, something that we're living in. We need to know we have food coming. We need to know that we can wake up and we're going to be safe. We have need for certainty, yes, but we also have a need for uncertainty, for excitement. And when we have too much certainty in our life, we get bored. Think about if you had to eat the same meal, say the same sentences, think the same thoughts, wear the same outfit every single day for the rest of your life, you would get bored. So sometimes when there's stress in the equation, it's not that something is stressful, it's that it's new. And our ego isn't prepared. It's unfamiliar with this newness, so it tells us to get stress. But nervousness, stress, and excitement, they all feel the same within our body. When you're feeling stressed out, I want you to start telling yourself that you're actually excited. You're actually excited that this stress, similar to birth, is the pain before the pleasure. That this stress is actually excitement. Our body literally gets confused because it's pumping out cortisol, adrenaline, and it doesn't understand. Is this stress? Is this nervousness? Or is this excitement? So start telling yourself that what you're going through is exciting because you're going to the next level. You're gaining new tools for new experiences. You're not stagnant. You are soaring. Start telling yourself a different story and you will perceive your life in a whole different light. When I posted that we were going to be talking about stress today, someone asked, can you please talk about procrastination? Absolutely. When we are triggered and we feel stressed out, many of us may resort to procrastinating. Now, it's really funny because this week, I have to re-edit my whole entire book in 1 week. Just don't even ask me why that is, okay? I have to re-edit this whole entire book in 1 week, and I really like to take my time with anything that I'm creating, especially that especially a book that once it's in print, it's in print. I have excitement around this book because it's my first book ever. And I'm putting a lot of my ideas onto paper for other people to read. And it's a new experience for me, first time author. So there's nervousness, there's excitement, and there's a lot of unknown. And when I'm being told I have to edit this whole entire book in this 1 week and I have to get everything done, that was causing me a lot of stress. So what did I want to do? Well, maybe let me just focus on something else. Let me go record my podcast and then I'll do it. Let me go make a TikTok and then I'll do it. Let me go answer some clients and then I'll do it. When we procrastinate, why are we doing this? We're doing this because we're looking for temporary pleasure away from the pain. Our mind is always going towards pleasure and away from pain. So when we are procrastinating, it has nothing to do with the actual action. When I wanted to procrastinate from editing this book, it wasn't because I'm not capable of editing. It's not because I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. It's only because it was stressing me out that I wanted to find pleasure somewhere else. So what do? We look for temporary relief. The problem with procrastination, and I was literally just talking about this with one of my clients, is that it only causes the stress to build up. The problem with procrastination is we go for temporary pleasure and then get all these secondary issues of now I have less time to get the book done. I'm even more stressed out. I can't focus because I'm so far into fight or flight. Procrastination does not open the door for real relief. It actually makes the room we're in feel smaller and smaller by the minute. Procrastination is not because you're incapable of doing the essay, of writing the book, of getting the workout done. It's about your relationship to stress. So whether your stress, like I said before, is that you're worried about your chemistry test or you can't find chemistry with literally anyone, which we know chemistry is just a bunch of chemicals anyway. It's not a real connection. But just for the sake of this sentence, it sounds good, okay? We're going to run with it. Whether it's one or the other, when it comes down to us feeling this in our body, procrastination is about our relationship to stress. It's not about the actual action. The temporary relief of Instagram or talking to a friend or whatever else it is will only make things worse. What you need to do is bring permanent pleasure to the forefront of your brain and get away from temporary pleasure. When you're looking at your shoes for that workout, or you're looking at the book you need to write or the essay you need to get done, instead of thinking of what would be relief right now, I want you to think what's going to bring me relief in the long run. Now, they've done studies on this, and it shows that people who start something for just 5 minutes end up doing this action for an elongated period of time. If you're freaking yourself out, just start for 5 minutes, because 80% of people who start for 5 minutes keep doing that action. I truly believe that when we try to look at the big picture, it's so overwhelming. Don't think about forever. Think about your for now. Otherwise, you're going to dig yourself into a hole that's going to be very difficult to get out of. So what I've been doing with editing my book is breaking it down into chapters. I told myself, okay, I'm not going to look for temporary relief in anything else. I'm going to put permanent pleasure at the forefront of my brain. What's going to bring me permanent pleasure? What do I have a deadline for? What's actually going to bring relief to my body? It's finishing editing this book. And how can I get this done? I need to break it down. I need to break it up. We forget that baby steps build big steps. You don't have to figure out everything in one moment. You just have to get started. And the further you go, the more information you will understand, the more information you will get. The further you go, the further you can see. So what I've done literally every single day, instead of getting stressed out at, oh my God, I need to edit this whole entire book, I just say, no, I don't need to edit a whole entire book. I just need to edit the 2 to 3 chapters that I outlined for me to edit today. It's way less overwhelming to tell myself I just need to edit 2 chapters versus I need to edit this whole entire book. Do you see the difference? So what are you getting stressed about? What are you getting stressed about? Is it the test? Ask yourself, is there an actionable step I can take? And how can I break this actionable step up so I'm not completely overwhelmed? Is it, I have to go on an interview tomorrow? Think about this. Okay, I have an interview tomorrow. Is there an actionable step I can take to help me release some of this anxiety? Okay, yes, I can look up information about this workplace so that if they ask me why I want to work there, I will know their mission statement. I will understand all the perks of working there. I'll understand their true vision. Okay, that's going to help me feel better. Can I practice some interview questions? Literally Google interview questions. Ask yourself, what can I do that's going to ease stress? And can I break this action up? Break it down. First, I'm going to look up what's their mission statement. I'm going to understand it. Secondly, I'm going to go over interviewee questions. You want to break it down so it doesn't break you down, okay? And when we break things up, it's just less intimidating. What's more intimidating to climb over? A 4-foot wall or a 40-foot wall? Break that shit down. Make it into actionable baby steps that you can take. Because most of the time, we just get so stressed out, we go straight into our sympathetic nervous system, which is fight or flight, that we can't even think clearly. So if you're in that state and you're like, Cece, I can't even think clearly, I can't come up with one actionable step, introduce the physiological sigh, do 7 of them, and then ask yourself again, is there an actionable step that I can take? Now, let's say you're taking your actionable steps, you're breaking it down, but you're still feeling really stressed. Okay, we need to do further nervous system regulation. Another comment that I got on Instagram was, can you talk about the vagus nerve and how to regulate your nervous system? Yes. So one thing you can do if you're getting really stressed is take your dominant hand and massage the back of your neck. When you're massaging the back of your neck, you're actually giving yourself a vagus nerve massage. And this will send out peace signals throughout your whole entire body, and it will tell your body that it's okay to move out of fight and flight and into rest and digest. This is so simple. Whether you're doing the physiological sigh or you're just rubbing the back of your neck, these are actionable steps you can take in the present moment to calm your body down so you can think clearly. Try it right now. Take your dominant hand and just do 7 little rubs behind your neck. Feel how your body begins to open up and ease itself into a more peaceful state. Do as many as you would like to get yourself into a better feeling space. With editing my book, I can't go through, especially on a creative process, I can't just go through for hours and be like, blah, 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 blah. I have to take breaks. So when I take my little break, I do a stretch. I massage the back of my neck. I do some physiological sighs. Now, what am I doing when I'm not actually taking my actionable steps? In seasons of stress, I really make sure that I'm prioritizing myself and my peace and my mind. So what this means is my non-negotiables to go to yoga 2 times a week. Maybe in a season of stress, I bump it up to 3 times a week. I make sure that I'm fulfilling my own needs so that at least I'm not resenting everyone else. At least I'm not starving for my needs to be met by others. I'm at least creating a safe space for me to feel safe within. I make sure I do my yoga. I shake out my body. Sometimes, if you're feeling really stressed, you just need to shake out your body and let some of that energy go. Literally, just jump around and shake out your body. Get that stress out. That's really going to help you reset and refocus. If you want another really simple action to take, fill a bowl with cold water, put some ice in it, and put your face in the cold ice water. Something that I've been doing is after hot yoga, I'll go straight into the shower. I take a very cold shower, and all of this is resetting my nervous system. It's putting me into my parasympathetic nervous system. So if I'm stressed about my book, at least I'm not stressed that I didn't work out. I make sure that my diet is perfect. Now, what do I mean by that? I'm not really talking about food. I am, but I'm not. I make sure that I'm eating high vibrational foods. For me, this is lean meats, this is fruits, this is clean foods, foods from the planet that have either grown or roamed on planet Earth. That's what I'm eating. I'm not eating Oreos. I'm not eating Cheetos because that shit makes me feel low in vibration. I'm taking care of my body. I'm taking care of what I'm listening to. I'm not watching the news. I'm not watching scary movies. Me and Erasmo have been watching the show Yellow Jackets, and I'm like, I can't. I cannot watch this right now. I like the show, but right now I'm stressed with other things. I can't add the stress of this show. And a lot of us are fucking addicted to the stress that we don't realize it, but we go looking for it. Oh, I'm not having stress in my season. Let me go watch the news. Or I'm having so much stress. Let me re-trigger the stress at night by watching a scary movie. I took a break from it. When I mean diet, I mean everything. I mean your mental diet, your friendship, who are you talking to, your everything you're consuming, whether it's media, food, friendships, my diet right now is pristine. Only positive videos, positive audiobooks, positive activities, positive people. If you do not fall into that, goodbye. I'm not allowing you into my space right now because I need positive support from all corners. All corners. I think another part of stress that we have to realize is we don't think about it in the moment because we're stressed the fuck out, but we always really are provided for, and everything does always work out for our highest good. I had a little shipping debacle. Now, I'm going to try my best to explain this, but it was so chaotic that I hope it makes sense. First of all, I was supposed to go on vacation with Erasmo and his family, but he ended up getting COVID, so we couldn't go. And I was like, oh, well, now that we're not going to that, I can go to my friend's Barbie party. And this was very last minute. I had a couple of days to get a whole entire Barbie outfit. And this is very first world problems. But it did, on top of editing my book and other things that are happening with my grandparents right now and my uncle, it just really threw me over the edge about this stupid outfit. It ended up coming out bomb, but okay, let's back it up. So I've had family stress. I thought I was going away. I was about to pack. Now I'm not packing. Now I have to get this Barbie outfit, whatever. So I order it and I make sure that I do expedited shipping so it gets here faster. So I pay the extra price, whatever. 2 days before the Barbie party, I realize I get a text from the condo that I live at in Florida. And they tell me, did you mean to send this package here? And I go, oh, fuck. This is not the first time I accidentally sent a last minute outfit to the condo that I live in Florida instead of my place in New York. So I was like, okay, that's a little stressful. I'll just, you know what? What's the actionable step I can take? Let me just get a new label. I'll send it to Patrick, and Patrick will put the label on the box and he will send me this outfit. So I make the label. It was $144 for some ungodly reason. And I send the label to Patrick. He puts it on the box, whatever. No one gets it on the truck. I scheduled a pickup, but for whatever reason, no one got the package on the truck. So the next day I call, it's Thursday, okay? It's Thursday, and I need this outfit by Friday because at 3 p.m. Friday is the Barbie party, which is an hour away from my house that I have to drive to. So Thursday morning, I'm like, okay. They didn't do it. I start freaking out because I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to do now? I go to the mall. I'm literally having a mental breakdown over a pink outfit, okay? Listen, it happens to the best of us. I don't want to hear it. Okay? Anyway, so my mom is literally like, Cece, I'll go to the mall with you. I'm like, I fucking hate the mall. I'm sorry. I hate the mall. There's too many people there. I hate everyone's energy. I'm sorry. It's just the truth. I never like anything in the mall. I think all the clothes are ugly. They don't get my style. And I didn't want to do it. My mom's like, you know, as a backup, you should. I was like, you know what? I'll go to the mall with you, but I'm once again going to order a couple of skirts and tops just in case, because now I have to figure out how to get the package from Florida here overnight before 3 p.m. And I'm also going to now order again from Revolve overnight. So I spent so much money just on expedited shipping. Like, when I say so much money, I mean so much money. I'm not cheap. I spent a lot, like a stupid amount of money on expedited shipping. And I don't, like, usually don't care about that because I care about feeling my best. So whatever I have to do to do that, whatever. But this was obscene. So once again, I spent so much money on more skirts, more shirts, whatever. And I also have to buy options because I don't know what I'm going to like. And so I'm freaking out. I'm like, for some reason, I could not get that stupid package on a truck. I'm like calling UPS. I'm calling the condo people. I'm like, I literally paid money to get this overnight and it did not happen. Like, can you figure something out for me? They couldn't figure it out. I'm hoping now my new package from Revolve will come before 3 p.m. I go to the mall with my mom. I absolutely fucking hate everything. I got so stressed about my stress and getting all these outfits together. And also, like I said before, my period was 20 days late. And it was as if my body was about to burst open. I'm sorry, but like, it was as if I was bubbling over. If you're not a woman, honestly, I'm not sorry because this is what it is to be a woman. So honestly, listen up and learn something. I was about to bubble over with bloatedness because it was like, I don't know what was happening, but something was happening. And so I felt bloated because it was like trying to get out of me, but like couldn't. Don't ask me, don't know. And couldn't find an outfit. So I was just starting to really feel stressed. Plus, my grandma was in the hospital. My grandpa's at the house alone, which is stressing out my mom, which is stressing me out. Plus, I'm trying to edit this book. Plus, I have my own business. Plus, I'm trying to post every day. It was just a lot of different moving parts. And sometimes with stress, it's not actually, the outfit was so stressful to get. That was the cherry on top of the stress cake that just threw me over. So I just cried. And you know what? When you need to cry, fucking cry. Because this is your life. Claim your own motherfucking tears. If you need to let that shit out, let it out. I just let myself cry. And I was like, you know what, God? This is fucking stressful. And I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I'm feeling very stressed out. I feel bloated. I hate everything in the mall. I don't like what's going on. Blah, 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 blah. I have to edit a book. So I spent probably an hour in analysis paralysis where I was just trying to analyze, like, when is this going to come? Is it going to work out? Should I go somewhere else? And I put myself into a bit of a funk. Once again, first world problems, not really a big deal, but it was causing me stress. I don't know. This was my life, so take it or leave it. I don't care. Friday morning rolls around. I wake up. I did get a spray tan, which made me feel a little bit better, so I'll say that. I wake up. Period has not come up. That was another thing that was stressing me out. I was like, where is my period? I totally forgot about that. Every single day I would wake up and be like, nope, I feel like I have it, but it's not here. So anyway, the good news is I've had 2 cycles in a row with absolutely no pain. Thank you, God. So that's the good news. Anyway, this is like such a ramble, but there's a point here. Just let me get it. Let me get to it, guys. So Friday morning rolls around. I do my workout. Remember what I said. I've been keeping everything pristine, like what I'm putting into my body. I'm doing my workouts. I'm doing my meditation every day. I've been praying on my knees. I'm not kidding you. I've been praying on my knees daily because it really plugs me in. And it makes, I don't know, it really feels like such a surrendering moment. It makes me feel really light and happy. We're going to talk about surrendering in a minute. But Friday morning comes around and I didn't have any packages. Every time the doorbell rung, I was like, oh, is that the package? And everyone was like, no. So I went to my basement and I just got on my knees. And I've continued doing this because it felt so good. And I just surrendered. If there's not an actionable step you could take, you have to surrender to the stress. I took every fucking actionable step you could take for this stupid outfit, okay? I went to the mall, I ordered something overnight, then it went to the wrong place, then I ordered it again overnight. Is it going to come? Is it not? I said, God, I did everything and more, and I probably didn't need to do any of that. I'll probably get every single outfit that I've ever ordered in time, but just in case I did all these extra steps, I think I stressed myself out. I surrender to this moment. What's going to be is going to be. I don't care. I can't take this anymore. This is so just crazy that I'm letting it affect me this much. I'm giving it up to you. I let go and I let God. I stopped focusing on the outfit. I did a really good Peloton cycling class. As soon as I was done, I go to my front door and all the outfits were there. All like 7 skirts, the shirts, everything was there. I did so much worrying about the package from Florida, about overnighting it again. Everything came before 12 p.m. Everything was there before my party. I had more than enough time, and I arrived to the party early. When we're stressed out, we lose sight of the fact that God has got us. We lose sight of the fact that everything is truly unfolding for us. And in the first round of packages that accidentally went to Florida, all the skirts in there I hated, and it actually worked out for me that I ordered more skirts, because in the second package was a skirt I actually ended up picking and loving. And I realized, wow, I did all this worrying for freaking nothing. Everything came. It came in time. I love my outfit. I feel amazing. It all worked out for me. Why did I go to such a dark place? Why did I allow myself to get so stressed out? This was a lesson for me. It was a reminder for me that sometimes we just need to let go. Let go and allow things to happen. Yes, I took every actionable step I could take, but really what this lesson is after you take the actionable steps, let it go. In high school, I was very, very type A personality, and I was in every honors class you can imagine, and I don't know, I had a really weird relationship with school. Like I don't know if I liked it, but I was good at it. Yeah, let's go with that. So I used to have this tutor, and I'll never forget him because it was just like the weirdest connection I've ever had is with this tutor. I can't explain it. Richard was his name. He moved to China. But anyway, so Richard was my history tutor, my like global history, which was just a god-awful class for me. For some reason, my school never taught geography, and so that was like another layer of global history that just threw me for a loop. I never learned it. I don't know. I still don't know it. Anyway, yeah, so I had Richard, and he would always say, Cece, after you take a test, you need to practice and you need to imagine that you have amnesia, because you stress yourself out so much after the fact and it's doing nothing. So we need to take a note from Richard. Once you've taken your actionable steps, if you've looked up the interviewee questions, if you've done your studying, if you ordered your clothing, pretend you have amnesia and let it go. After you've done what you've done, you're not procrastinating, you've done everything you could do. Let it go. Pretend you have amnesia. Like I said at the beginning of this podcast, the worst thing we can do is stress about stress. Because at that point, we're not even stressing about the actual circumstance. We're just getting triggered by our own emotional reaction. So we can either move through a stressful circumstance, being really stressed and then stressing ourselves out even more, creating secondary stress, or we can face a stressful situation and move through it in a peaceful way where we're taking the necessary actionable steps that we can take, where we are acknowledging, okay, this isn't preferred, but I'm capable. I can do this. This stressful situation isn't going to break me down. I'm going to break it down into actionable steps that I can take so I'm not overwhelmed. At the end of the day, you can go through a stressful situation being really stressed out, or you can go through a stressful situation being your best self. And even though it's not always the easiest decision, it's still a decision you get to make. So I'm going to ask you, How do you want to move through this stressful situation? Do you want to do it by stressing yourself out, by eating crap and making yourself feel worse, thinking a stressful thought, and then spiraling about even more stressful thoughts? Or do you want to acknowledge this is something new, but hey, maybe this change is actually opening me up to a new season, to the next level. Maybe this change is exciting. It's growth. You get to choose how you want to perceive this situation. So what do you choose? What do you choose? It's your adventure. Choose your motherfucking avatar. I love you so much. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. You could be anywhere in the world and you're choosing to be here with me. As always, the sparkle in me honors the sparkle in you. If you'd enjoyed this podcast, please share it with other potential positive bitches. Post it on social media and tag me. If you enjoyed it, you can also leave a positive review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. It helps this podcast, but it's also good karma for you. So if not for me, do it for you. And I will see you in the next one. Mwah.